Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 22 August 2024. Thursday night at 9 o'clock must be time for a knife sale on the Apostle P channel, and a knife sale we shall have. We've got 34 items for your consideration this evening, all of them knives. No twofers, no flashlights, no battery packs, no watches, just knives. And it's the good stuff, my friends. Before we get into the thick of it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. First off, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will also print them in the description underneath this video, if that's an easier way for you to digest them. Also, in the description above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one goes with the terms of the sale. It's called a primer for buyers, and it's a 38-minute expanded explanation of those terms. The second link will be of interest to you if you're thinking about moving along some of your collection and you want to use this weekly sales event to do it. It's called FAQs for Consignors, and that video explains how this all works from the consignor's perspective. The third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. Speaking of sharpening, not only will there be next day sharpening available for the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened in tonight's sale, but backlog is 2 weeks, guys. It's about the lowest it's ever been since I started sharpening knives for you all, gosh, what, 12 years ago? So this would be the time to send in some knives. If you don't know how that works, watch that video. It's called the Apostle P Knife Service Rates and Services. So in that all-important video description, you'll have those 3 links at the top, then the terms of the sale in the middle, and at the end, the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left and pricing on the right. You'll generally see 2 numbers in that pricing column. The first, on the left side of the slash, is the price of your knife as shown in the video, and the price on the right, as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. And as I said, next day sharpening will be available for the first 4 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. Not to worry if you fall outside the first 4, your knife will still ship within 2 weeks. Now tonight, very interesting, we have several knives that either have my edge already applied or a really, really good user applied edge. And you'll see in the far right column just 2 dashes indicating it doesn't need to be sharpened. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right column, that means the knife is sold, bought and paid for by its new owner. So no need to send any inquiries or I'll take it's about any items marked sold, all caps, exclamation point. I think that's about it for the housekeeping. Let's get the terms up on the screen for you, and we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we have just 3 leftovers from last week. You guys killed it last week. The first among them, and this so rarely happens, we have a Great Eastern Cutlery item left over for a week. This one is one of 2 just like it we ran last week. It's the number 818222 81 Coon Skinner in smooth yellow rose bone. So notice this is the one that comes with the, don't want to say generic, but the generic Northfield label, not the yellow rose label. Okay, but the knife, just exactly the same as the one in the yellow rose tube. We've got a Serpentine Stockman platform or chassis, but it's not a Stockman. It's a Coon Skinner with dueling muskrat clips. There we go. So we have a closed length of about 4 inches. Notice the blades are polished. You got your yellow rose etch, match striker nail necks. Blades are on cam tangs, about a 7-pull, really nice walk and talk. And just very slight blade rub as those congressing blades try to work it out. The smooth yellow rose bone and the rose shield, double line bolsters. Beautiful, beautiful knife. We'll call it near mint in tube. Probably like new, but you know, you got the rub. It was probably there when it was shipped. Sold listings on eBay for this knife running between $242 and $307. We ran this one last week at $175. Got no takers, dropped it to $155 for the weekend. It's still here this week. $145 like it is, and $185. I sharpened both blades. Just so you know, guys, I don't think this is going to see a Saturday price drop, so don't wait on it. The GEC Northfield, number 81, Yellow Rose. Next up, kind of sad this one's left over. It's kind of a piece of Spyderco history. It is the Dallara 3, and I think it was Spyderco's first knife that used the ball bearing lock, but notice this is not the caged ball bearing like a Manix or Manix 2. This is one large white ceramic ball bearing that you pinch and pull back. So you pinch, pull back, and the knife closes. So it's a little awkward compared to the caged ball lock, I gotta say, but not undoable. So what we got? We have a modified sheep's foot blade with a little bit of belly. 3 3/8 inches long in S30V. The handle 4 3/4. Standard black G10 steel liners. Pocket clip will be tip-up ambidextrous deep carry wire. Lockup is dead rock solid. Action's not quite free dropping, but it's close. The blade centering on this Dallara is, what did I say? Oh, perfect. So these are discontinued and out of stock for some time. One sold listing on eBay did $190. We ran this one last week for $160, got no takers. Dropped it to $140 for the weekend. It's still here. How about we do $125 this week? $150 with my edge. That is the Spyderco Dallara 3. Next, in our last leftover from last night, I'm kind of shocked this one didn't sell. Where are my old Spidey heads? Anyway, it is a Leafstorm. A pretty interesting knife from Spyderco. Back before natural G10 was cool, the Leafstorm had it. Check it out, guys. It's a little titanium frame lock or a Reeve integral lock. Very interesting detail in the lock bar cutout, don't you think? Right hand tip up only clip. We have a little leaf-shaped blade with a hollow grind. Blade steel is S30V. Blade length on the Leafstorm, 2 7/16. Kind of loves that grip right there. Handle length is 3 5/8. There's your lock engagement on the carburized and non-steel inserted frame lock. No stick, no slip. The centering is kind of hard to see. It's a little favoring the lock side. It's hard to see though with that Jade G10. Just nice phosphor bronze bearing action or washer action. We'll call it near mint in box. Discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay between $286 and $435. That's an interesting range. We ran this one last week at $250, no takers. Dropped it to $220 for the weekend, still here. This week, $195 like it is, and $220 with my edge on the Leafstorm in Jade G10 from Spyderco. Next up, we have a rather interesting package. You know, I said there were no combo deals, and I guess there really is one, because we got a big blue box from Benchmade that houses the model 539GY Anonimus. Coming with it will be the model 50023 Exotac Fire Rod XL. You'll get both boxes. I don't know why. It's probably just going to make it cost more to ship. I think I teased you guys about this knife last night. This is the coolest fixed blade I've ever had in my hand from Benchmade. First, let's deal with the sheath. A beautifully formed Kydex sheath that'll be ambidextrous with the removable and ambidextrous dangle belt loop. Then we got a fire steel loop housing that Exotac Fire Rod XL, and it is pretty XL. It's also apparently unused. And then we got some tinder. How about that? Refillable. I like that. Oh, you want to see the knife too? Okay. Look at that, guys. That is a little drop point stunner right there. In gray Cerakoted CPM crew wear. Blade length is 5 inches, thin, sub 1/8 stock. Kind of a medium height saber grind. It is wearing a very nice polished edge. Not mine, but it's beautiful. You're not going to need to sharpen it. The handle is 4 7/8, full tang design. The lanyard hole is encompassed by the scales. Just a very slight reveal on the blade tang, so you could use that as an impact device if you wanted to. Beautifully milled OD green G10. Absolutely luscious in the hand. I mean luscious. What a beauty. We're going to call it near mint in box just because of the sharpening. So if you buy one of these brand new, map price or web retail for the knife is $279, and then $38 for the fire steel. So what is that, guys? Is that like $217, I think, or $317 altogether? Full investment plus the sharpening. Guess what? You can buy this whole shoot and match for $225, shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. That's the Benchmade Anonimus plus the Exotac Fire Rod. Next up, I think we sold one of these a couple weeks ago, and we got another one from Spyderco in the pretty pouch. Nothing inside, no paperwork. Who cares? We've got a Swayback in that beautiful glass beaded and then tumbled titanium, slightly crowned. It is, of course, a titanium frame lock with a very discreetly installed steel lock face insert. Nothing shows through. That's kind of cool. Blind holes. Interesting. Pocket clip, tumble polished, ambidextrous tip up. The blade is a stunning, I will say, tumble polished Wharncliffe, as they do only in Taichung. You can see that. Blade steel is CTS XHP. Blade length 3 5/8. The handle 4 1/2, so very efficient blade to handle ratio. Butter smooth on phosphor bronze washers. And it's already wearing a polished edge. Frankly, I couldn't tell if it was mine or the owner's. It could be either, but it's very nicely done. So we're going to call it near mint in box. Polishing noted, by the way. Action, centering, lock up, all perfect. These are currently available. I think they're on their way out because the price has been dropping on these. $205 is Spyderco's current map price for dealers who still have these in inventory. This one with an edge that if I did it would have cost you $25 plus postage to get it. The whole shoot and match, beautiful example of the Swayback. $175, no need to sharpen. Next up, it is Mike and Sue time, my friends. We have an unassuming Ziploc bag with a little protective pouch inside. We got the card from Grayman Knives, making tough survival and combat knives since 2004, 100% made in the USA. And a note. May it serve you well. All the best, Mike and Sue, Grayman Knives. And then we got a knife. It's a Dua. Beautiful stone wash on the full titanium handle. Right hand tip up titanium pocket clip. Closed length on the Dua is 4 1/4. We got a big old titanium lock bar. Properly carburized, no need for a steel insert. Nice early lockup, rock solid and secure. And then you got that swedged spear point blade. Now this one has been sharpened, and it's not how I would do it. I do a little thing where I get rid of that flared heel. Makes it a little easier to sharpen. Notice this has got a little bit of a clamp mark from the sharpening device in the stone wash. Blade length is 3 1/8. It is in CPM 20 CV, which I think you might be able to see right there. Let's look at the mechanics. The lockup is early and secure. The action is beautifully smooth and free. The blade centering on this here Dua is just about perfect. We'll call it excellent. No box, with note from Mike and Sue. These are out of stock as usual. Sold listings on eBay and Arizona Custom Knives between $525 and $650. This one, let's do at $450 like it is, $480 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Grayman Dua. Next up, we have a knife that should come with a box, but it doesn't. It does not. I do have another Ziploc bag. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know. But I do have a little documentation. Oh, look at that. If you can read that, it's from Shirogorov, and it would probably tell us that this is an F95T and M390, among other things. Would you like to see the knife? Here you go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Beautifully milled titanium handle. Maker's mark right here. The fully milled and rather low profile right hand tip up titanium pocket clip. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Beautiful flipping action. There's the M390 stamped into that very beautifully blasted blade. And this is wearing an edge by the ApostleP Knife Service. I can tell because I always do this to the Shiros, just to make the base of the edge a little nicer. Just take off just the end of that corner, because they get a little wonky back here if you don't do that. Blade length on the F95T is 3 7/8 of gorgeous drop point sliciness. 5 inches is your handle length. There is your lock engagement on the steel insert. It is rock solid. Never felt a Shiro that wasn't. Beautiful and perfect. Near mint, no box, with COA. Used knife sold units. I couldn't find any. I did find a couple for sale on Arizona Custom Knives that were used knives, listed for between $9.95 and $11.25. This one comes with no box, and guys, that's not surprising because Shiro's boxes are very fragile, and if they get passed around much, they just don't hold up. That's probably what happened with this one. Your price, $675. No need to sharpen on the F95T with an ApostleP edge from Shirogorov. Next up, I know I teased y'all about this one yesterday. It's going to come with no box. You do get a soft pouch, nylon pouch. It is a Three Rivers Manufacturing Neutron that originally came with a set of natural G10 scales, but they are not installed. This buyer went a little off the beaten track for his customization. We have an FDE, flat dark earth, G10 scale on the clip side, which is mounted for the right-hand carry. This would be the off side for the right-hander. And then we have what they call tech wood. These are a factory Three Rivers scale. You can see they're stabilized in there is a very fine peel ply pattern in whatever resin's covering those, I think, mahogany scales. Very cool package, by the way. The Neutron has a blade in 20 CV, 3 inches in length. I love the maker's mark, deeply embossed in the blade. Blade length is 3 inches. The handle 4 1/16. It is a liner lock mechanism in titanium. Locked up nice and securely, about 40% engagement. Rock solid. Blade rides on phosphor bronze. Looks like it's about perfectly centered. Not going to fault that. Ambidextrous tip-up pocket clip, by the way. I like that. It does have a polished edge. I don't think it's mine, and the reason I don't think so is because at the very tip, it's not quite cleaned up. But it's still very, very sharp. I'm not going to offer a sharpened price. Doesn't need it. Near mint, no box. Out of stock at $225 with the Jade G10 scales, and then you got the cost of these two scales. Don't know what that was. Anyhow, you're not going to pay $225 or $250 with the scale cost or whatever. How about let's do $150 on the Neutron. No need to sharpen. Next up, it is Olamic time. Never the same. There's the skew for this one. I bet you can discern that that's going to be a Wayfarer 24/7. It does come with the tool, by the way, and the COA. It's a 3.5-inch blade, says the card, in M390, sculpted titanium handle with a bronze stonewash, the bronze stonewash titanium clip, and the bronze anodized titanium hardware. This is a very early one, back from 2016. The bronze stonewash on the handle and clip is very subtle. You can pick it up a little better in the hardware, I think. It is, of course, a ball bearing flipper. Flips like a rocket. I measured the M390 blade at 3.5 inches, just like the card says. The handle 4 13/16. You do have a right-hand tip-up only pocket clip with the ceramic ball retention device. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Locking up right there. Nice free ball bearings. Now this knife has been sharpened, but I think it could be sharper, so I am going to offer a sharpened price. It's not bad, guys. Not bad at all. Blade centering is going to be dead down the middle, I think. Yeah. Kind of got a floating backspacer. We will say excellent to near mint and pouch. A little bit of carry wear on the handle, but very little. Let's do this one at $395, like it is, and $425 if you'd like it to come to you with my edge on it. That's the Olamic Wayfarer 24/7. Next up, anybody who watched my teaser video yesterday has probably been waiting for this one. It's just a Koenig. I don't know why anybody would be interested in that. According to the card, it says it's an Arius in CTS XHP with a titanium handle, not numbered. Made back in April of 2018. Oh my. Guess what? It's also going to have an Apostle P edge on it. This has got these glass bead blasted sort of smooth titanium scales, just showing some very light trails from carry over the last 8 years. Milled titanium right-hand tip-up pocket clip. Bronze anodized titanium backspacer. Ball bearing flipper. Oh yeah. And this has got that bi-finished blade, or actually you could say tri-finished. So the flats have a horizontal grinder satin. The fuller, for lack of a better term, is glass bead blasted. And then the bevels hand-rubbed horizontal satin. Wearing a scary edge from the TheApostleP Knife Service. Yeah. 3.5-inch blade, 5 1/8 handle. There's your lock engagement. Perfect. Rock solid. Action. Yeah. Centering. Yeah, that'll work. Would perfect be okay. All right. So, of course, they're out of stock. They always are. Sold listings on eBay range between $750 and $1125. This is a light user, so why don't we just price it a little bit under the lowest price I found? How about $725? Like it is. No need to sharpen on the Koenig Arius with an TheApostleP edge. Next up, oh, we have a little knife from those guys in Idaho. Looks like it's an Mnandi with Coco Bolo inlay. From June 28th of 2016. S35VN with the updated harder hardness spec. And here is the little beauty. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Beautiful Coco Bolo. Beautiful milled titanium ambidextrous pocket clip. I'm guessing this is the, I don't know, it's a good nail nick. So not like the middle generation nick that you couldn't actually open, but this one you can. The blade, 2 3/4 inches in length, wearing a polished edge. Not the best polished edge. I'm going to offer a sharpened price on this one. Wipe my fingerprints off the blade. But it's not horrible. It's sharp, just not very refined. There is the engagement on your Reeve integral lock. Beautiful. No stick. No play, no slip. Centering is Chris Reeve perfection. Handle length on the Mnandi is 3 5/8, so very efficient blade to handle ratio. Just so gorgeous. We'll call it near mint in box. A little bit of carry wear on the clip, on the spine of the handle. Better than excellent, I would say. I don't know. Anywho, they are out of stock new, almost always. I found one sold listing on eBay for a Coco Bolo Mnandi. Guess what it was? $600. That's crazy. I mean, crazy. Let's do $395 on this one. $420 if you like my edge on the blade. The Mnandi and Coco Bolo from Chris Reeve. Next up, I kind of like these knives even though they're made in China. It's just going to come in a pouch only. I have a card here from Ferrum Forge that says that this is a Pro Series knife. It's the Exec model in 20 CV, made 5 years ago. The Exec, a pretty sweet, long and thin gents folder in acid stone-washed titanium with a carbon fiber inlay. Got a milled titanium pocket clip, right-hand tip up, just a very stylish, simple clip. Steel inserted titanium frame lock that locks up at about 330. There's your flipper tab, works like a champ. The blade in 20 CV is 3 9/16 inches in length. Just a gorgeous, svelte drop point. The handle length, 4.5. So again, a very efficient blade to handle ratio. Lockup is rock solid, engaged thusly. Oh, nice. Centering, dead. Condition, we'll say near mint in pouch. Has this been sharpened? It has. Oh, it's been sharpened by me. How about that? Yeah. Discontinued, not a stock for a while. When they were available, They were $260 web retail. Then somebody paid me $30 to sharpen it. I found one sold listing for a used Exec on Arizona Custom Knives. It sold at $285. I think it was a blue anodized one. This one, how about we go $195? $195, no need to sharpen, on the Ferrum Forge Pro Series Exec with an ApostleP edge. Next up, it's a blue box from Benchmade that houses the original Freek, the 560, no letters, no suffix. I remember, doggone it, what did I just do? Oh, that's what I just did. I remember when these knives were brand new. I was visiting Derek Bone at Knife Ship Free at their new digs in Escanaba at the time. And he showed me this, which I thought was, I don't know, kind of a griptilian-like thing, which it kind of is. But look at the handle. So the structure of the scales are this hard polymer, the gray stuff, and then it's overmolded with a craton-like soft grippy material, kind of like Gerber Gator stuff. The pocket clip, a Parkerized split arrow. The lock is axis lock. And you guys know the blade. This one in S30V, first production run knife. I can't read it. What does it say? You guys tell me what it says. I can't read the number. Anyhow. So yeah. 3 5/8 inches of S30V. 4 13/16 inches of handle. Not quite a free dropper on the phosphor bronze, but eminently flickable. The lockup, dead rock solid. The centering, not bad for Benchmade in 2016. Very, very close to perfect. You might even call it perfect. I'm going to say it has an okay polished edge. Why did I say okay? Just a little no cleanup near the tip. But is it sharp? Oh yeah. I will offer you a sharpened price, but if aesthetic isn't really a problem, save your money till you get it dull. We'll call it near mint in box. They are discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay ranging between $132 and $180. This one let's do at $110 like it is, $135 with my edge. That's the Benchmade 560 Freek. Next up, if this knife makes it through the early birds, if it makes it through the early birds, and I'm not saying it will, you better buy it quick or it's going to be in my safe. It's a Benchmade, and it's the 535-1901 Bugout. Interesting knife. This was not a dealer exclusive or anything like that. This is how it shipped, I believe, with the base Bugout blue polymer scales in the box and these beauties installed. What you got here is some natural G10 with a cool diamond mill pattern, kind of like the 20CV Griptilians had, over the blue G10 liners, like those Griptilians had, with a blue butterfly. Yes. This is wearing a blasted shorty deep carry clip that's ambidextrous tip up. The blade is 20 CV, and it is a limited edition. I can't read the number. My eyes suck. You guys read the number. Oh, there are a couple little marks in the blade. Who freaking cares? And it is wearing, an ApostleP edge. Shocking. Yeah. 3 3/16 blade, 4 3/16 handle, axis lock, phosphor bronze, thumb studs. Almost a free dropper. Lockup is rock solid. Centering would be, what do I call that? I called it very close. It might, I don't know, what does it favor? I think it favors the bottom side as you're looking at it. Barely. So, they are, of course, sold out and discontinued. Sold listings on eBay, I'm not even going to tell you because it's so ridiculous what they cost on eBay and what they sold one for on Arizona compared to where we're pricing this one. Yeah, it's 150 bucks, guys. 150 bucks. No need to sharpen. The Benchmade 535-1901 Bugout with an ApostleP edge. Next up, Protect time. In the old green box. It's the model 3415 Newport black handle carbon fiber on the front and a stonewash blade. Such a sexy little gents automatic. Black hard anodized aluminum handle. On the clip side we got no inlay, and you do have a very long deep carry right hand tip up clip. On the show side there is that carbon fiber inlay. It's a button lock auto. Stonewashed S35 VN blade. 2 15/16 inches in length. That must be a 4 1/8 handle. I typoed in my notes. Rock solid lockup. Protect perfect centering. Snappy Protect action. We'll call it, oh, it's got a polished edge, and I'm calling it okay. Again, just some no cleanup in some areas from the original sharpening grind, but very sharp. I will give you a sharpen price, but if it's a user, you might want to get it dull before you have me work on it, just saying. So, near mint in box, out of stock at $190 web retail. Let's do this one at $160 like it is. $185 with my edge. That's the Protect Newport model 3415. Next up, a very interesting package we got going here. Yes, sirree. And I'm making a mess over here. It's from Hogue. It is the model number 54120-EXL-RSK Doug Ritter Mini RSK Mark 1 G2. Come on, guys, simplify, for goodness sake. Carbon fiber scales. Here are the carbon fiber scales and a pocket clip. They've got that beautiful sunburst milling, and they're basically unworn except there's a crack. This would be at the front of the handle. Now, could you easily fix that with some epoxy and a clamp? Absolutely. I could have done that before I made the video, but I wanted you guys to see what you're getting. It's not wearing these scales, however. It's wearing what appear to be, I think this is Cerakote and not a hard ano. This is a set of AWT aluminum scales in orange with a beautiful mill pattern. And then you got this. And if you can't see it, now you can. The blade is in Magna Cut. Wearing a factory edge. So you got a blade, 2 7/8, a handle, 3 15/16. Beautiful in the hand. The Able lock from Hogue, not at all like a Benchmade Axis lock. Phosphor bronze washers, but look. Yeah. Is the lockup good? Yeah. Is the centering good? Hard to see down in there, but yeah. I'm going to say very close. It's so deep in the hole there, but it's very close. So near mint in box, out of stock. For just the original knife with the carbon fiber scales, web retail would have been $185. I don't remember how much these scale sets are from AWT, but I think they're more than $50. Your price, all in, everything you see here, $195 like it is, $225 with my edge. The early birds did not see this one. It is the Rob's pick tonight. The Hogue 54 120 etc. Mini RSK. Carbon fiber, Magna Cut, plus custom scales. Next up, we have a gray Benchmade box from the service department. I probably should read that. It might have something important. Or it might be packing material. Oh. Anyhow, inside that box is a knife. It is the 4300 BK. Turn the page, Rob. CLA automatic with beautiful blasted black G10 scales, 3D machined, slightly crowned. So pretty. Button lock automatic with the side mounted safety. Black blade in 154 cm, gorgeous drop point with a swedge. Parkerized split arrow clip, ambidextrous tip up. You're also going to get probably the clip that it came with, which is a painted deep carry. Okay. Blade play, nothing. Centering, close but not perfect. Action, just fine. We'll call it near mint in box. Let's see. Factory edge on this one. Very little wear. We'll say, I don't know, near mint in box. Discontinued, not a stock knife. When they were available, they had a web retail map price of $252. Let's do this one at $180 like it is. $205 with my edge. That's the Benchmade 4300 BK CLA automatic. Next up, another blue box. It's kind of a Benchmade party tonight. It's a 940-2 Osborne. It's kind of the user configured 940 with its 3D machine black G10 scale set, toxic green hard anodized aluminum standoffs. This one is wearing a parkerized deep carry clip that mounts ambidextrously tip up. The blade is in S30V. And I believe this one's been sharpened and not by me. It's not bad. Lock up, dead rock solid. Not quite a free dropper, but is it flickable? Yeah. Centering? Well, it's perfect. We'll say near mint in box, sharpening noted. Current web retail or Benchmade map price for the 940-2 is $207. This one can be yours at $150 like it is, $175 with my edge. The Benchmade 940-2 Osborne. Next up, a super cool little knife. Super, super, super cool. From Spyderco. Made in the USA. Golden, Colorado, USA. Earth. It's a native 5 in fluted carbon fiber. And it's kind of hard to see the fluted milling, but it's kind of a sunburst that originates here and radiates out. So pretty and slightly crowned, by the way. Tumble polished clip, bright hardware, mid-lock mechanism, bushing pivot like a para 2. The blade on this one is going to be CPM S90V. So fingerprinty. There. Blade length is 3 inches. Handle length 4. Nice free action on the bushing, and the lockup is rock solid. The clip is 4-way positionable. The centering is perfect. I'm going to say near mint, mostly like new in box. I really couldn't find a flaw. So, yeah. Discontinued and out of stock knife. When these were available, I have no idea what they cost because I couldn't find a pricing reference. I can tell you that there are several sold listings on eBay. The cheapest one was $185, and it was probably kind of a turd. The most expensive one I saw was $300. Let's do $170 on this one. $200 if you'd like my edge on the S90 blade. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 4. The Spyderco Native 5 fluted CF and S90. Next up, we have such a cool little tiny knife from Spyderco. Comes in the diminutive box. This is a McBee. What a beauty. Look at that thing. Yeah. Beautiful blasted and stonewashed titanium. This is wearing a clip, by the way, that you can buy from McBee's website. It's a titanium clip that just works perfectly with the knife. I think he makes these for his customs. It's tiny. The blade in the McBee is CTS XHP, just 1 9/16 inches in length. The handle is 2 5/16. You talk about efficient blade to handle ratio. And it's like a 2-finger handle, but it's secure in the hand. Love the drilled holes in the show side. I love the milling, kind of a rock pattern mill in the lock bar where you engage it with your thumb, and then on the pivot, and in the lock bar cutout. Very cool. Little paracord lanyard tied on. This will be a carburized, non-inserted Reeve integral lock. It is rock solid. Phosphor bronze washers on the pivot. Perfect centering. And then you get the original little tiny Spidey clip as well if you'd like to, I don't know, carry it with that one just so you don't mark up the McBee clip. The McNeese clip, I'm sorry. Very cool. Near mint to like new in box. Current price of these online is $187 for just the knife. I didn't look up what the clip cost, but $20 or $30 probably. You can buy the whole shoot and match for $130 like it is. $155 with my edge on that XHP blade. Next day sharpening is available. That's the Spyderco McBee. Next up, we got one from Kershaw. Made in the USA. The knife inside will be the 7800 BLK Launch 6 from Kershaw. Here we go. Very nicely milled and black hard anodized aluminum handle. Very cool detail in the spine. Pocket clip will be a long one, ambidextrous tip up. The blade in CPM 154 is 3 3/4 inches in length. It reaches out. It'll touch something if you want. The handle is 5 inches. It's a button lock automatic mechanism. Let's see how the action looks. Okay. Rock solid lockup. Centering is, let's see if I can get it to reflect. There we go. I called it perfect. We'll say the condition to be near mint to like new in box. You can buy these brand new for $140. Let's do this one at $95 shipped priority mail. $120 if you'd like it with my edge. That's the Kershaw Launch 6. Next up, I know I teased you guys about this one yesterday. The Ontario Knife Company Red Rat 1. This is kind of a special edition rat. Okay, you got red G10 scales, kind of coarsely textured, close to the old cold steel, but not quite as grabby. 4-way positionable black pocket clip with the 1889 year of origin etched onto the clip. And then you got the legendary rat flickability. Stainless steel liner lock knife, phosphor bronze washers, free dropping blade in where is it? There it is, S35VN. There's your lock engagement, and it is dead rock solid. And the centering with free dropping action is perfect. Condition on this, near mint to like new in box. These are currently available for a web retail of $100. Your price on this one, $70, like it is, $95 with an Apostle P edge. What a great Christmas gift that would make, even for Dad. The Ontario Rat Model 2 Red S35. Next up, every now and then, Buck does something that surprises me in a good way, and they did here. The knife inside this box, we know this as the 841 Sprint Pro. Okay, Sprint Pro. And this particular knife is a limited edition from 2022. A beautiful fluted set of natural canvas micarta scales. The hardware, Buck says, is gold PVD anodized. Okay. The pocket clip will be deep carry right hand tip up. And it is a stainless steel liner lock. Even the liner lock is gold PVD coated. And it's a ball bearing flipper. Did you see that? That's a buck. Yeah. That's pretty good, guys. The blade is black PVD coated. S45VN with the Boss heat treat. 2022 limited edition. Blade length is 3 1/16. The handle is 4 7/16. In the hand, it is yummy. I mean yummy. Cool blade shape, I think. There's your lock engagement very early on the stainless steel liner lock. It is rock solid. The centering, I'm calling, well, if it ain't perfect, it's close. Like new in box. These are out of stock. They were a limited edition 2022. Sold listings on eBay for this exact knife between $159 and $275. I don't think you're going to find a nicer one. This one will run you $150 shipped priority mail, all in. $180 if you'd like my edge on the S45VN blade. That's the Buck Sprint Pro limited edition. Next up, we have one from Heretic Knives. Made in the USA. Model number H060-6 Alpha-Tango. It is the Rock in DLC. Pretty cool knife. I see a curvature to that handle. This is a double action out the front knife. Black hard anodized aluminum handle. Fully milled titanium pocket clip with a ball bearing for retention. Spine mounted firing button. Medium effort. Check it out. Yes, it is a karambit. Blade is 3 1/4 inches of CPM MagnaCut. The handle, 4 3/4 inches in length. It just fits the hand so nicely in a variety of grips. Oh, yes. Oh. Button effort medium, reliability 100%. We will say near mint to like new in box. These are out of stock. When they were available, they had a web retail of $420, whatever that means. Anyhow, out of stock at $420. Let's do this one at $300 like it is. $335 with an Apostle P edge on that hawkbill blade. The Rock OTF Auto Karambit from Heretic. Next up, a Microtech I haven't seen. And it is a Signature Series knife. It's the model 206-10S Makora Double Edge. Another double action out the front automatic. Black hard anodized aluminum handle with Track Tech inserts for sure grip. The handle from tip to tip is 5 3/16. The blade, stone-washed double-edged beast, 3 5/16 inches in length. Button effort medium, reliability 100%. Serial number is 510. Born on date is 3 of 22. It is like new in box. Web retail for these, and I believe they are available currently, is $420. Your price on this one, $300. No need to sharpen. That is the Makora from Microtech. Signature Series. Next up, this will be the first one of these I've had in hand. It's another Microtech, and it is the LUDT Single Edge Gen 3 in OD green. Model number 1135-1 OD. That is not your father's LUDT. Gorgeous green ano and the aircraft grade aluminum handle. Track Tech inserts on both sides. Standard Microtech clip. Button lock automatic. Fires like a rocket. The two-tone blade in M390MK. Serial number is 36370. Born February of 24. Blade length 3 7/16. Handle is 4 9/16. Lockup is dead rock solid. Centering is just about perfect. Fires hard. Hold on to it. Condition will be near mint in box. These are currently out of stock. When they were available, they were $276 web retail. Let's do $225 on this one. $255 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first four. The LUDT Gen 3 in OD green from Microtech. Next, our last Microtech, but it's a manual action folder. Look at that model number. Come on, guys. 169RL-11 APFLGTBK. Is that a woke model number? I don't know. It's the Stitch RAM-LOK. Here we go. Beautifully milled and crowned black G10 scales. Pocket clip. Deep carry, tip up, ambidextrous on a Microtech. Opens with a slotted hole. We have a combo edge. Blade steel is M390MK. The combo edge blade is actually 3 11/16 inches in length, longer than it looks. The handle is 4 15/16. It's so good in the hand. I mean, it's a Microtech, but it's really a large utility folder. The RAM-LOK mechanism operates like the cartridge-style axis lock that you would find in a Benchmade Anthem. It's on ball bearings. Locks up dead solid. Action is free and smooth. Centering is perfect. Near mint to like new in box. Currently available brand new at your favorite web retailer for $307 in this configuration. Your price, $225 like it is, $255 with an ApostleP Edge. That's the Microtech RAM-LOK stitch in G10. Next up, super cool knife. Wish they weren't made in China. Chavez Ultramar. Rendition 229 with green micarta, and everything else is black. What makes this one interesting is that it's not a thumb stud knife. It's a flipper, but watch. Where's the flipper? Where's the flipper? It's right there. This has the Lee Williams kickstop mechanism. So you get the convenience of a flipper without the bother of a flipper hanging down here. I love it. There's a good shot of that tucked away flipper. The blade steel, M390, blade length 3 9/16. The handle 4 9/16. Black DLC blade, and I think this is probably black DLC, slightly tumbled on the frame. You got your Mick Jagger skull clip, and then if you're like me, you don't want that, so you get that other clip. 3 o'clock lockup. Engaged thusly. Lockup is dead rock solid. Ball bearing super smooth and free. Blade centering perfect. Like new in box. And that's OD green canvas micarta, by the way. Out of stock at $407 web retail. This one can be yours with everything you see here. $350 like it is $380 with an ApostleP Edge. The Ultramar Chavez Rendition 229 Kickstop. Next up, man, I had to do a little looking to identify this knife. So it's from AZ USA Blade Works, Arizona Blade Works. So they are a retailer, a web retailer. And then they have their own brand of knives as well. This is one of them. After hunting a little bit, I found this is the Blitzkrieg from Arizona Blade Works. It's their brand, but it's manufactured by Migaron. Titanium frame lock, steel inserted, carbon fiber inlays. Interesting, they're slightly different because of the lock. Milled titanium pocket clip, right hand tip up only. Ball bearing flipper, cool spear point blade. M390 is the blade steel. 3 3/16 is the blade length. 4 7/16 is the handle. Beautiful blade centering. Rock solid lockup. Pretty cool. We'll call it near mint to like new in box. These are currently available at Arizona Blade Works for $175 brand new. How about we do $110 on this one? $140 if you'd like it with an ApostleP Edge. The AZBW Blitzkrieg. Next up, I don't like huge knives that weigh a pound, but I don't know, man. This one's kind of cool. It's from Maxace. No box with this one. And it's called the Vortex-S, model M26A. I believe these scales are canvas micarta, not G10. Every listing I found made that case, and they're really sort of cool. That is some gorgeous material. The pocket clip is a kind of a low profile, tip up, right hand only. The liners are thick slabs of titanium, and I believe that backspacer is as well. A very discreet lanyard attachment point. Thumb stud deployment. Oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. 5 1/16 is your blade shape. It's almost a kukri. It's like a harpoon kukri. Blasted bevels and swedges and horizontal satin flats. The blade steel is called SLD Magic. I think you can see it is a laminated product. There's a line of demarcation right here. I know nothing about it. It is a titanium liner lock knife, and the liners are thicker than some titanium frame locks. I don't think there's a steel insert in there. It does drop shut. It is on bearings. The centering is close, but I don't know that it's quite perfect. It might be. Oh. So yeah, these are out of stock at $172 web retail. Let's do this one, and it is near mint in box, maybe like new. Oh, there's a little wear on the clip. Let's do this at $130 shipped priority mail, and $165 if you'd like my edge on that big honkin' 5 1/16 inch blade. The Vortex-S from MaxAce. Next up, here's a super cool gents folder. Super cool. From Giant Mouse. It's the REO, the Rio, in green canvas micarta. What a beauty. So this has got kind of a diamond milled pattern in the OD canvas micarta. The backspacer is a gold anodized titanium. The pocket clip it's wearing is an ambidextrous tip-up deep carry wire, but it also comes with this clip, which is gold anodized titanium, and it matches the backspacer. Okay, so it kind of looks like a 940 handle, doesn't it? Anyway, it opens with a hole, and it rides on ball bearings. Stainless steel liner lock mechanism. Magna cut blade. Full flat ground, looks like 1/8 inch stock. Nice crown spine. Some forward jimping, very sharp. So you have 3 5/16 handle, 3 5/16 blade, 4 5/8 handle. Really, really nice in the hand. Lockup is secure. Centering is dead down the middle. Condition, I'm going to call it like new, maybe near mint. There might be a little bit of wear in that backspacer. Just a tad. Out of stock at $195 web retail. Let's do this one at $145 shipped priority mail. $175 with my edge on the Magna Cut blade. That's the Giant Mouse Rio. Next up, we're going to end the sale with a couple pretty cool GEC knives. Here's the first one. Comes from the Titty line. You couldn't buy this one in stores. This is the 2022 Rendezvous knife. It's the model 888222 Diamond King. So it's the, I don't know, you could call it the 88 Bayou Trapper, the 88 Sow Belly, but it's the Diamond King. Rendezvous knife number 51. Comes with a button and a sticker and a knife. The material of these covers is Diamond King acrylic, diamond shield, number 51, stamped into the plain bolster. Gorgeous sow belly pattern, gorgeous acrylic. Main blade is almost a special clip. Maybe you could call it a muskrat clip with the Diamond King etch. And the PPP on the main blade, which is rare, very seldom done. Secondary blade, a lamb foot with the rendezvous etch. See if I can get that to show up. There we go. Closed length, 4 inches. Pull weight, 7.5. Walk and talk, centering, all are perfect. It is like new in tube, never used, never carried, never sharpened. Your price, $450 like it is, $485. I sharpen both blades. The GEC Titty number 88 Diamond King 2022 Rendezvous Knife. Next up, and the last knife in tonight's sale, is another one from Great Eastern Cutlery, and it's another Rendezvous knife. This has got a 22 model number, but this was the 2023 Rendezvous knife, only available to be purchased if you were in line early on the day of. This is number 28. There's your tube label. It's an 81 coon skinner in genuine stag. Double line bolsters. Beautiful stag. I mean beautiful stag. There's your match. Blade set. Dueling muskrat clips. You're going to notice very slight rub because it's a coon skinner. And there's your unexcelled etch. There's your rendezvous etch. Cam tang walk and talk is beautiful. Pull weight's about a 7, and it does have the match striker nail necks. Like new in tube, never used, carried, or sharpened. Your price, $425, like it is $460. I sharpened both of those muskrat clips. The GEC Northfield number 81 coon skinner stag, the 2023 rendezvous knife. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another weekly knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now commence to clicking.